was young and reckless, trying to send a message through our records. Lyric shit at 14.
Welcome to another episode of the Melanin Made Show. We are your hosts. I'm Shay.
And I'm K-Lou, the great baby.
We are here with rapper and designer Hyisheem.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome.
Cool guy.
Thanks for having me. I'm chill.
Ice cold, huh?
I'm very ice cold, but I'm just chill, you know.
Alright, bet. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I want to start off with Hood Brothers.
Okay.
Let's start from there. Give us the whole rundown. What's up?
Okay, cool. So, perfect. So, Hood Brothers, the acronym Hood actually stands for Hustle Out of Desperation. It's a slogan that was coined in my neighborhood. I'm from 26 Chelsea, Manhattan, 26th Street, and this is where I was raised. So, growing up, I was a part of this rap group called NBC, which stood for Natural Born Criminals. And it's funny. It's funny as hell. But at that time, you know, we were rebels. Like, we were kids from the hood who really could rap, who really could do this. Like, a lot of people who say they could do it, we was listening to people on the radio and was like, yo, we've been 10 times better than them.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we just never had the exposure, the opportunity. Later on down the road, we became hood billionaires. And then, you know, it was like a moment where, like, we realized, like, hey, this is not really the message we spew on. Like, you know, we're not billionaires, but at the same time, it's something we wanted to be. But what are we? We're brothers, you know. And Hood became the acronym after a Jay-Z song. Can I live? If you hear it, it's like, you know, in the beginning he says, well, we hustle out of a sense of hopelessness, sort of a desperation. So HOOD, hustle out of desperation.
That's dope. What made you start a clothing brand out of that? Is that what kind of audience are you reaching to now?
Copy. So when I was in college, we were hired for our first paid gig, right? And in that gig, I'm like, you know, I'm a business. I'm a hustler at mine. At all. It's like, yo, to be honest.
Can we make this thing?
No, facts. When I was 11, I used to sell DVDs.
Oh,
you know what
I got CDs, DVDs.
Yo, I used to, yo.
You had to go to store with it.
Yo, I kid you not.
Hustle man.
What's happening, Chief?
Yo, that's what they used to call me. Yo, legit. My man's in
Hustle
the
by
hood.
Silas.
My man's Will. I'm like, yo, how can we maximize the profit? How can we make more money? So I'm like, you know what? We should get shirts. Got shirts. We sold the first set of shirts we got. We were expected to sell at the show. We didn't even make it to the show before they sold out. A week before the show, they were all sold. So we had to order 50 more. And we sold all 50 of those at the show. By that time, I'm in college at this point. So I go back to the school, and I'm like, you know what? I want to see if I can bring this back to school with me. And the people really support it. I mean, so you gotta show love.
Got you. So speaking of music, let's hop into the music now.
Let's do it.
How long did it take you, and how hard was it to fulfill your dream?
I think every day I live my dream. Because I'm able to do music, I'm able to support my family and support myself. That's my dream, because where I'm from, you know, when I grew up, I didn't know if I would make it past the age of 19. You know, simply because I had two friends who died at age 19. You know, my first summer in college, I had a friend who was killed, and he was 19. You know, so like, there were certain things that went through my head that like, damn, like, you know, if I make it past this age, what's next? I don't know. But then to go into like what it takes to be a great artist, like when I first started, I was trash.
Move this man.
Like I'm gonna keep it so real. Like
You
I
was
was
spitting that fire.
No, to be honest, I was trash, but I had people around me who were like crazy great artists. And because I was with them, I understood how to count bars. I understood what it meant to put in the work. I understood what it meant to actually see a project from beginning to end. You know, like my boy Dubs, like, you know, he was one of the first people who like even gave me inspiration and said, yo, I believe in you. You're like, keep writing, keep doing it.
Speaking about that, with your music that I hear right now, you reference a lot about your family.
Yeah.
Now, let's get into that. Your family, I could just tell, it's like the root for you.
Yeah.
Because I'm listening to it and I'm the baby.
Yeah.
Do you have any
Me too.
youngest?
I'm the baby, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like, right? But yeah, so go into that, like how, I know it's really important, but just like, how do you incorporate that in your music? And is it too much that you touch on? Or is it just like you just getting started, touching on like how much your family means to you, or what they've been through, or what you've been through with your family?
So I think when it comes to family, like, I think when it comes to music, you always want to be truth.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things I learned early on. Like, I remember one of my boys came up to me, and this is actually the turning point from when I stopped being that artist that rapped about stuff that he didn't have to being about someone who talked about stories and talked about the things he's actually going through. One of my boys, he came up to me, he was like, yo, you fucking suck, bro.
I mean, that's what you need.
I was like, yo,
you
legit.
need that friend. I think I'm that friend.
I'm one of those people that's like very analytical, so I'm like, so what's gonna make me better?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Please enlighten me, please.
And it's like, you know, and then it puts them in this.
hate him.
Like, you know, what can make me better? He was like, yo, like, bro, your brother is doing time. You know what I mean? Your sister been in and out of jail. Like, he's telling me about my life that he sees. And I'm like, yo, damn, like, yo, I could really rap about the things that are going on in my life. So when I talk about family, I talk about my life and I talk about my family because I feel like there are people that can empathize with what I'm going through. And those are the people that I want to reach.
Speaking of family,
Yeah.
because I know people close to you are usually your biggest critics.
Of course.
How well do you take criticism from your family?
Okay, so when we say family in that matter, I usually think of like more than just my immediate family.
It don't have to be. It don't have to. Be, It can be like a close friend.
Friend,
or
yeah.
That's
what I was about to say.
That's what I consider family.
Yeah, me too. Same here.
Because you can be closer to a friend than you are an actual family member.
Facts.
So how do you take that criticism from any aspect that you look at it? How do you take that criticism from?
It's funny you say that because there was a time where I couldn't take criticism from people who were close to me.
Yeah.
And I felt that way because, like, as an artist from New York, it's like, yo, it's either you fuck with me or you don't. But in reality, there's a lot of ambiguity in between those two things. And it's like, yo, like, I mess with you, but I know that, like, you know, your style may not fit everybody else. I don't go to the studio with everybody because everybody's opinion don't matter.
That's a fact. That's what anything though.
And the people that hit the studio...
Y'all remember that everybody's opinion doesn't matter.
Not everybody's opinion. But, like, the people who know you, they'll know, like, yo, like, nah, this is... Nah, it's a dub. Like, you know, we're not about to put this out.
All right. Listening to your story, your background and everything, do you consider your type of style like Kendrick Lamar's? How he first, well, no, not Kendrick Lamar now, but how he first came, like Mad City type of Kendrick Lamar. I mean, when he first came, he's rapping about what he experienced.
Yeah.
Is that the type of royals you're going for now, or?
I think K-Dot is a very special artist, in that he like a lot of his stuff goes over a lot of people's heads. I wouldn't compare myself to him, just because like he's a West Coast rapper. He does his thing. He has a different cadence, and he has a different flow in the way that he go about things. The one thing that I do think that is really dope is his concepts, and I think that I can relate a lot to his concepts, and I try to emulate a lot of the similar things that he's experienced, although I haven't experienced them. Like I'm not a gangbanger, you know what I mean? I know gangbangers and I'm around it, but you know, in my hood, I'm the kid that's viewed as like success. You know, I'm the kid that made it out. I had a master's degree. You know, when I come back,
Go ahead, multiple degrees.
when I come back to my neighborhood, like it's little kids that look up to me, and they say, "Yo, I'm trying to get a job here. I'm trying to do this. Could you help me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." So like, you know, I know K-Dot is in a place where he could like give that opportunities to a bunch of people, but you know, he wasn't always viewed as who he is now.
All right, so let's hop into your newest project that you got going on.
Let's do it. So the project coming out February 1st. It's called HomeSick. It's very, 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 very anticipated. It was a project I worked on when I was at VSU, and that's when I started working on it. I have a bunch of features on it. I got Seneda. She is an alumnus of VSU 2 times. Got her undergrad and master's, and she's a woman of Delta Sigma Theta.
Shout out down
Yeah, so
Shout out home team. Shout out whole team.
So the whole idea of homesick, like when I say homesick, like what comes to mind, y'all?
Yeah, like wanting to be
I
home.
want to go back home.
Yeah. Thanks. So like when I first got to college, I felt like that. I had a conversation with my sister, and when I was back home, and she was like, you know, I'm disappointed in you, yo. And I was like, yeah, that really hurt me a lot. And I was like, yo, like I gotta do this. I gotta go back and stick it out. And I say all of that to say, like, you know, I missed home at one point. But it got to a point where when I wanted to go home, whenever I came home on breaks, I would notice that some of the people that I grew up with, some of the people that were still in my neighborhood, they were doing the same things. Things were stagnant. people didn't really see growth and they didn't understand what it meant for them to grow. And then it was even to the point where people would look down on me because I was in school. So when I came back home, that was the situation. The other situation is family. Like my brother was homeless at one point, and you know what I mean, like, you know, just hearing about all of this stuff that's going on at home that you can't really affect, it hurt. To the point where I was home and I didn't want to be home. I didn't want to come back home. I was so sick of home that it redefined my definition of homesick.
That's what I hear in your intro.
Yeah.
That's why, me personally, it resonates, and I feel like other people, it'll resonate for them as well.
Yeah.
The same way it has for me.
It's gonna hit home for a lot of y'all.
Yeah.
It's pretty lit.
Would you say that this is your best project?
Homesick? So once upon a time, I did believe that.
Really?
Yeah.
What changed?
I started working with a few other people, like actually last summer, and this project I'm writing now, I think is actually gonna be my best project ever. But I think Homesick will be my best project out. Yeah.
Any shout outs you want to give to anybody out there?
Yeah, man, I want to give a shout out to everybody in 2-6. I want to give a shout out to all my dudes, Dubs, especially Doug. He believed in me when a lot of people didn't. You know, he was there for the bad times, the good times, all of that stuff, and that's always with my brother. All my hood brothers, everybody. I want to say rest in peace to my boy Busy Bam. You know what I mean? We out here rapping for you, still living for you. He passed away the day before Thanksgiving this year. And Roy, shout out to everybody that's doing music and doing their thing. I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that I've looked up to in the music industry. Like, you know, even though I don't know these dudes, like I want to give, I don't know these dudes. Like Jada Kiss the Logs, DMX, Rough Riders. Like, yo, I'm a New York guy. Like,
all New Yorkers.
But like,
heavy hitters, yo.
But it's also like, yo, I really wish to be amongst those type of people, where someone in 10 years could be like, yo, I looked up to Young Hyi.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, but I want to give a shout out to everybody there, everybody doing music, everybody doing their thing. 2-6, all my hood brothers, everybody supporting the brand, and everybody out there hustling.
Any questions, comments, or anything, y'all can put it in the comments below.
Down there.
DM Hyi, DM me, DM Klu, anything. Any suggestions and any topics that we didn't touch on, let us know down in the comments and we'll send it right to Hyi if you need it. Alright, so thank you for tuning in for another episode of the Melanin May Show. I'm your host Shay.
Klu.
Young Hyi.
Peace.
I'm Young Hyi, the owner and CEO of Hood Brothers, and I'm Melanin May.
We was young and reckless, trying to send a message through our records. Lyric shit at 14, we was some young